Okay. I see red numbers, therefore the Fraps is recording. I'm going to say that at the beginning of every one of these one shots, aren't I? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is another one of my one shots for the summer of 2017. This one's called Housing Issues, which is a scenario I've been working on writing up to fit along with several different, many different systems. Basically, anything you can do occult investigations or urban fantasy with. The basic premise is the players are a group of college kids, part of a parapsychology club, that are going off to investigate a haunted house. In this case, I'm also dovetailing this with some playing around with divine blood and working with occult investigation themes, because that's what I'm looking at making the next expansion I make for that, which the way I write might be 2 years from now. Anyway, now I'm going to go ahead and let our characters introduce themselves. We'll start with the man rocking the Bruce Campbell on the Enterprise picture. Waffles, introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, my name is Waffles. I am playing Alexander Rovius, the up and coming paranormal YouTuber, trying to prove the existence of ghosts one clickbait at a time.
It's
Okay,
gotta be damn.
one clickbait at a time. Okay, Lorelai.
Hey, this is Chavexani. Everybody pretty much goes with Cho because apparently the other's hard to say. But I chose to play Lorelai, which is her build is quietly psychic, but I chose to have her also be unknowingly Fae, so that's part of her makeup as well. And that's kind of it so far. They're going on a ghost hunt, I guess.
Yep.
Joy.
Now the world setting I'm like I said I'm working at this is Divine Blood. It's the tech is quite advanced, maybe 20, 30 years ahead of ours, maybe further. I tend to estimate it at 2030. Psychic phenomena has been scientifically proven, but not all the public believe it, and it has not been proven in the general community about how powerful it can get or how common it is actually. Now,
Hmm.
before we move on, and also ghosts have outright not been proven publicly. Anyway, before we move on, what kind of mood do we want this scenario to be? Do we want this to be kind of a goofy scenario? Or do you want it to be more horrific?
Those are some very opposed settings there, like
Yes, they
especially
are.
on
I mean, this scenario, you go investigate a haunted housing complex, can run from Scooby Doo to Dread. So, do we
I
prefer?
don't
Which do we
people to
prefer?
survive.
What was that?
I don't know if we have enough people to survive Dread.
This is true.
yeah, that's a very valid point.
Do you
I feel
want
like
it?
it would be real
So,
quick if
do you want it somewhere in the middle? Potentially serious, but not necessarily so um oppressing as Dread or Stephen King novel or something like that.
right.
Okay, we'll aim at probably Buffy. Early.
Okay, I can deal with
Okay, so the situation is as follows: the local housing complex has been experiencing some odd phenomena going on recently. Uh, the and they've been kind of putting out to see if they can get some ghost hunters to come in or some people, anybody really, to tell them what's going on. And your club learned about it, and the two of you out of your club, we can assume there's more members of the club, or we can assume it's just you two doing it for a hobby. have learned about this housing complex's problems and are going to go look into it. It is the we're going to call it the every shade housing complex. So we're going to start with you guys coming into the area and describe yourselves entering on the scene. As a note, looking at your gear, Alexander Rovius, you have a van, and Lorelei, you have a bus pass.
I guess I'm taking the bus in.
You're not. Okay. You're going to come there separately, or are you going to come? Or are you going to come with him on the van? You can do either or.
Uh,
You can take a drive in the creepy white van. Go for it.
that's what I'm like. I'm like, man, I don't know. How much do I trust this guy? Um, yeah, all right. Yeah, we could go together. I mean, it's kind of dumb to ride the bus if somebody's offering a ride. That's, yeah.
Okay. Can you describe what your van is like, please, Alexander?
It's super creepy with no windows.
No, it has windows, but it is one of those white transport vans.
Hmm.
Not much in the way of seating, just used for holding, well, essentially all the video equipment.
Mhm.
Which is why you want it opaque with no windows, so people don't know what's in it.
Well, the windows could be tinted.
This is true, and it's filled with video equipment in the back. Okay.
I feel as though at some point someone has pranked you by spray painting free candy on the side of your van.
Oh,
I'm not saying I did it. I'm not saying it was a good idea. I'm just saying I think it probably happened.
I can see a good idea pulling that though.
Yeah, it probably did happen at least once.
Yeah, college kids.
And I
Yeah.
found the guy and completely ruined his life through video.
Oh man.
Okay. So that said, you pull up to the housing complex. Are you going to come during the day or at night? How do you plan?
I'll probably come at least during the afternoon before darkness actually hits, because setting up in complete darkness is kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you kind of like want to get a layout of the place as well, like before you're stumbling around in the dark.
Are you planning on talking to the to the managers on site, or just trying to talk to the residents? Who contacted you?
Hmm. I don't know. I think like how big is the complex?
The complex is um, the complex. We'll say it's about, I don't know what's an average size complex anymore. 50
Well, I'm just
units.
thinking.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
about 50 units, I think.
Um, yeah, I think that's small enough to where like one of the managers might have been involved enough to contact us. Like maybe they've had several reports from different people, and it's finally got to the point where it's like we have to do something about the situation, you know?
Right.
Hmm.
So the
Um,
so the people living there, is that what I'm hearing? Just making sure I'm clear.
I was thinking, like I said, like if the manager of the place, if it's small enough, then the manager is going to be involved enough to give a damn more
Right.
about it. So maybe they've called us because they've gotten reports from people that live in the buildings that are scared.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Now, wait, is it just one specific house that's haunted, or
The
a
complex.
bunch of them? It's the entire complex?
Seems to be, yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of space for two people.
Well, I was thinking like that's why we could start with interviews. We could talk to the manager first and see who in the complex has spoken up so far about what's going on, like who's been more vocal about it. And then after that, we could kind of more focus our attention on like where the most complaints are coming from and go talk to those families specifically.
All right, so you want to interview the manager first?
Yeah.
Okay, so you pull up in front of the manager's office. It looks fairly. It looks like fairly average housing complex. You think this place is maybe about 15, 20 years old. It's kept in mostly good repair. You can see a couple patches here and there where the age is kind of showing. Um, and you go on. Did you have? I thought I heard a click.
No, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm going to be clearing my throat
Oh,
because.
right. Go Minasai. Okay, so you're going into the main office, and the receptionist at the front kind of looks up at you, and he smiles, kind of gives you a friendly smile. It's like, oh, hello there. How may I help you today?
Yes, we're here to interview the manager about the odd activity happening.
The odd activity. The odd activity. Give me a moment. And he kind of pushes a button on the thing. This is one of those paper thin wall type things where obviously the person in the back could probably hear the conversation going on, but they're still going to use the intercom to contact them. You know, giving an impression. Uh, Ma'am, there's someone out here saying they are here to talk about the odd activity. Okay, okay. Go ahead, send them in. And he turns and looks at you. Okay, if you would please just go in right in there.
I'll get the door because I figure Alex probably has his hands full of video equipment.
Okay,
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm switching audio devices.
no
Okay.
problem. We'll give you a moment. Out of curiosity, Lorelai and Alexander, what are your eating habits?
Eating habits?
Just curious. Do you like snack a lot?
Uh, I'm gonna be for real about this. Um, when I was looking through the different character creation things, I saw that this one had chocolate bars in their gear, and I was like, "Wow, this is a person after my own heart." So I think Lorelai probably eats quite a few sweets.
Okay,
All right. Can you hear
Alex.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Alexander. Okay, so Lorelai, just so you know, and this might come up, your character doesn't know this. She don't
Okay,
retain fat the way humans do because they're evolved to stay beautiful, which means
right.
they can't handle starvation as well. But when they
Mm-hmm.
overeat, they get hyperactive
Okay,
because their body starts forcibly burning all the excess calories.
right. So it's not normal hyperactive. It's ridiculous, bounce off the walls.
Yeah,
Who gave me a cola type situation?
you know all those myths about the fairies having the big feast before they do a hunt, and the hunt getting kind of wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. So you come into the place. The lady at the manager is kind of a severe looking woman, gray hair, um, probably in her mid 40s, early 50s maybe. In this setting, that's kind of middle age. People live to 90. The average lifespan is 90 in this setting.
Just for my own edification about the setting, the end of the lifespan, is that a healthy lifespan, or is that where they hit like 70 and they're very ill?
No,
Like,
no, that's
what's
a
the.
healthy lifespan.
Okay, dope.
You there are documented cases of people hitting. There are a couple of people in the setting right now. Public. There are people in the setting right now that are a couple thousand years old, but there are people in the public in the setting right now that are about 150, 120.
Okay.
Actually, if I were to go to some of the demons and gods, there are people that are 65 million years old in the setting. So,
But we don't know nothing about that.
yeah.
I ain't
Okay.
got no time for that.
Yeah. Anyway, she looks to be in her early 50s or mid 40s. So either she's going gray early in her late 40s or she's starting to hit the mid 50s. Still looks a little bit young. If it was real life, she would probably pass for mid 30s. Oh, well, I see him kind of looking to college kids now. Looks at your camera. At least you look the part.
What?
How now did you have the situation is seems to be getting a little bit worse uh the last couple of weeks or so. The incidences have been occurring with in increasing locations.
Okay. Can you tell us, like, when it started and what kind of phenomena it began with?
It's hard to say. I think we've tracked the first report, and this is the first report. It's hard to say what the first incident was, but I think we tracked the
Mhm.
first report to a there was a report that the swimming pool froze over at the beginning of July. Uh, that was about 3 months ago.
Mm.
Man, talk about Christmas in July.
By the time the maintenance man got out there, there was no ice, but the water was quite cool.
Is there video of the area when it happened?
That first instance, not so much. We've had a couple other instances with cold spots uh, developing here and there, and things that are getting moved out of the side.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can find some. Um, Let me see if I can find any evidence for you. And she
Hmm.
goes off to the side and turns to the computer and starts typing away. I assume you have a smartphone.
Uh,
Let's see. Oh, Alexander does.
Yeah, I got one.
Do you mind if you open up a link? I can transfer you the data.
No problem. And I open up a link.
Yep. And she starts transferring you over some. It's a selected group of files. You can tell by the origin location. It's not the main security thing. They had the file. They had the video files very carefully set off to the side that they wanted to send to you.
Hmm. I'm just really surprised that they didn't have a camera on the pool because most places that have a pool would have a camera because they don't want, like, for instance, rowdy teenagers sneaking in and, you know what I mean, and like ruining shit or being there without a lifeguard and all that good stuff.
Indeed.
Well then,
Do you
all
want
right. So
do you want to make an empathy roll to see if there's anything behind that?
Yeah, I get a +1 bonus to that.
You do.
Um,
So you
is
would
it?
go on.
I'm just wondering what the roll is, the actual dice for it. I don't remember.
4DF. You slash R 4DF plus, in your case, 3.
Come here, plus sign. I need you. Oh man, that's the poopiest roll in Poop Town. What the hell?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, she seems to be a little bit evasive about the idea of the swimming pool. When you asked about the video of the swimming pool, she got a little bit. She immediately switched away. Not the first thing. No, not as much. Immediately
Hmm.
shut down. Is very. You kind of noticed it. I'm not. I'm probably even Alexander noticed it. Because unless you roll, you have an empathy of 1, but unless you roll very poorly, you probably even noticed it.
Um,
let's
my
see.
question is like when they shied away from that part of the incident, do I feel like it's a personal reason or just generally not wanting to show that video?
You defeated him by uh, with style. Yeah, so even Alexander caught there was some hesitance to mention the first bit of video. Um, but Lorelai, you catch on that there seems to be somewhat personal, somewhat uh, career oriented.
Mm-hmm. Uh, okay, I'd like to speak up and say, look, I know he's got cameras and all that good stuff, and you're probably worried about us sharing information. We're not here to make you or the place look bad. We just need to know the severity of what's going on around here. If you have video and you don't want us to share it or to tell your boss or whatever, we're not looking to hurt anybody. We just want to see what's going on.
Okay. Um, Give me a persuasion roll.
Okay. I'm just trying to see if I have any bonuses for that or anything.
You do not, but you have with she at least you have the ability to add to it.
Well, I rolled a 2 anyway, so I'm gonna just go ahead and let it see how it goes. Uh, DF, no, not FD. Come on, dyslexia, work with me here. I got a 4.
You have a 4. If you want to spend a fate point, you can get that up to a. Right now, it looks like she's stonewalling you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, you have a couple things like subtle uses of power and quietly she. And actually, hold it. This is trust, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. So that would fall into your prophet of hope thing. So you get a +2 on that. So you're actually tied right now.
Okay, so I would need to spend like one fate point
Yep.
over and
You can spend a fate point on Quietly She and be able to charm your way into getting them to reveal some information.
um we can get fate points back, right?
Yes, when bad stuff happens to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then. I'll tick off a fate point because I want to know. Like, I'm really curious now. Like, what's so bad about this particular footage that they're not willing to share it right away, or that she's not willing to share it right away?
She kind of looks to the side a little bit and kind of says, I shouldn't really mention this, but I believe we've had incidences around that time every week where that camera goes down.
Hmm.
I've been suspecting the maintenance crew has been running a poker game out there, but I can't prove it, and it doesn't really hurt anything.
Yeah, that is much less salacious than I was thinking.
Yeah, seriously, I'm actually very disappointed.
Right?
That's the most scandalous thing to happen here. What the?
Yeah, right? I was like, man, somebody's getting in that pool and getting down. Like, that was my
Like,
thought.
we
Okay.
won't tell the gaming commission, okay?
Right? Okay. Um, can we get contact information for the maintenance crew? Because actually, beyond their illicit gambling, uh, we probably should talk to them anyway because they probably get a lot of input from the residents as far as things that are going on as well. But Luke, the manager didn't want to show us certain things, but what did she send over to Alex's phone?
She's got a number of different incidences. To look at the full list, it'll take you some time. Probably while Alex is setting up cameras and such, somebody is probably going to be watching the video, which probably is going to be Lorelai because she's not
Yeah,
skilled at watching at setting up the cameras.
yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Um,
but it looks like a number of basically the what do you call it, the security cameras around the place. Okay, and yes, okay, uh, the maintenance crews, yeah, I'll give you their links to here. I'll give you their information. Most of them live on site. That's one of the benefits we give to the caretakers is free room and board. So
yeah, it's much easier when they have to come out in the middle of the night to fix plumbing or something
yeah,
if they're
which
already.
yeah, yeah. This housing complex kind of predates a little, just barely predates a lot of the personal solar paneling, but it's been converted to a lot of it. It looks a little bit off key because the architecture wasn't designed for the solar paneling, but it's
Mhm.
still there.
Okay.
Okay, so you get the information. What do you go from there?
And for one, I would like to point out that I'm taking notes this whole time.
Okay,
Um, I'm sorry.
I said okay.
And I actually wanted to ask the manager what, because normally people would ignore this kind of thing, what prompted them to actually try to contact somebody? What was like the last straw, as it were?
Okay, the last straw, as you say, was a bit of a hospitalization. Somebody got zapped. There was a short circuit with one of the breakers on one of the apartments.
Oh, Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Is the person all right now, or
Yes, they seem to be fine. Yeah.
okay, that's good. Um, okay, and so we now have information about where most of the issues have happened, right?
Yes, you do. You're going to have it on video. There's a printed out list that you can read, and there's a bunch of videos.
All right. Alex, do you want to go talk to a couple of the people in the apartments and see where like the biggest things have happened, or do you think we should kind of like just spread out to all of these different apartments? I know you've got a ton of equipment, but I don't think you have enough for a job this big.
No, it would take a huge crew to cover this entire complex. Let's find a couple of let's find the places that's had the most activity, and probably grouping like two or three houses
Okay.
if we can. But let's find the places that have had the most activity. That way, I can set up there.
By the way, as you walk out of the place, you start walking to where your van is parked. You see like a 11, 12-year-old kid with a spray can at the side of your van, just finishing up spraying free candy on the side of your van.
All right, I will take video of him doing this. And I'll be like, "Hey, kid, want to be on YouTube?"
He kind of glances over his shoulder.
Also, you want me to call the cops?
He takes off running.
Yeah, like you would. Okay.
Luckily, I can't. Luckily, after such incidences, I keep a can of white spray painted in my van.
It keeps happening around you for some reason. And
I know.
Lorelai's been joking about it so much.
I. The thing is, even if I got it painted black, they would just use white spray paint.
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
Lorelai, I have a fate point.
Okay.
Ah,
Uh, that's great. I'm sorry. I shouldn't find it that funny. That's a horrible joke to make. This kid should feel bad.
Yeah.
oh, they'll definitely feel bad. I got camera of where they're running. I got video footage of where they're running off to.
Come on. It's just the kid playing a prank. It's not that serious. Calm down.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll
buy
grab
you
the.
another can of white spray paint. How's that?
That's not the point.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
Go ahead, Lorelai. Go ahead. Roll persuasion. Alexander, roll willpower.
Okay.
And you get a +2 because this is inspiring him to be forgiving.
Did I do
Four.
that one?
You rolled 4FD instead of 4DF.
Damn dyslexia.
Don't worry, Alexander rolled 2DF.
I'm doing good, I swear. I almost rolled Rick.
Speaking of Rick rolling, uh, the um, the word "never" came up as new word for one of my junior high class, for some of my junior high classes. So that day, and it happened to be my birthday, when I was doing the "never," when it got around to repeat doing the words, it's like "never going to give you up."
Hmm.
Okay, so she kind of she kind of has a point, Alexander. It is just a kid. If it was like a college jerkwad, you probably be a lot more willing. You would probably be a lot more deserving of having his life ruined. But it's just a kid.
Fine, fine.
All right.
I
And
go
we
to
have
respray my car. I go to respray paint my van.
okay.
Okay, so your plan is to identify the epicenter, correct?
Yeah,
And then
I think
go
like
go on,
I
continue.
was saying, I think like the first part would just be looking at the numbers of the apartments. You know what I mean? Like simply,
Wait, the apartment numbers?
like yeah, to see which ones are next to one another where things happen.
Oh, true.
Did you have another way to check it? I mean, I'm open to suggestion. It's just an
Not
idea.
really. I'm not. I'm. This is kind of why you're here. I'm just the cameraman.
Okay.
You're the face.
Oh, all right. Just
Okay,
what I want for in life.
okay. So you can both work on this. It's the investigation plan. This is trying to settle on the area where you want to focus in. It's going to be reasoning, willpower, and perception.
Okay.
Difficulties are going to be three across the board. You can both work on this because before you know where to set up, you're trying to find a place to set up just as quickly, so you can still help with this. 4FD
So
plus
wait, we
six.
each roll. So we roll each one.
No, you can either roll maneuvers to help with the one of you can roll maneuvers to help the other, or one of you can roll two and the other one can roll one. Either one works.
Well, my perception is a 3, willpower is a 2, and reasoning is a 2.
So your pool is a little bit bigger than mine. So should I like roll to assist you?
What's yours? What are your scores?
Two, two, and two.
So that would probably be your perception, and then either one of you can roll the other two.
Oh, I'll get the perception out of the way.
Okay. And that is a four. That is a success.
Do you want me to do the other two?
Well, I'll get the one and I'll get a one on it, which is a fail. So
Which one
yay.
was that? Willpower or reasoning?
Uh, I would think willpower for me.
You get bored quickly with it. You've been eating too many
Yeah.
chocolate bars.
Oh,
Do
hey,
you
you want a piece of candy?
you wish to succeed with cost?
Uh, would it be a major cost or a small cost, or do I
At,
have to find habits?
at this point, it would be a major cost, but you
I'd
don't know.
rather I'd rather.
You'd rather just fail?
Well, yeah, because he has a chance. Like he got a good success there, and then his next roll could indeed be good as well, right? So
Yes. Okay, cool. And who is doing the reasoning?
I'll try.
I'm eating candy.
I'm going to turn off the grid so it stops connecting.
We're fucked. We have no idea what's going on.
We go to houses that aren't even on the list. So
So
like,
right now
All right,
you're
everybody, wrap it up. We're done.
yeah no you're at this point you're getting a little bit like her. She's getting a little bit frustrated. You're getting a little you just want to go out and do stuff. You've got a basically a good idea. And remember, the roll just describes how much things are going to cost. You still have fate points a lot to spend. So, but yeah,
Eh.
right now it's like you're just hey, it looks like there's a lot right here, and then it's like okay, we're done. You basically find a spot in the first 10 minutes that you think looks good.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to go set up there. How are you setting up?
The houses are occupied, right?
Yes.
Most of the and a lot of the events happen in the house.
The events happen in around the houses. These are like those townhouses. They're about 2 to 3 story houses. Most of the units are split to where there's two families to a unit, as in half of the townhouse is one unit, half of the townhouse is another unit, and you have a total of two families living in that one building.
Can we interview one of the families to kind of like see where they're witnessing things at?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yep.
Okay, because I think that's
And
like the best way to figure out where to put the cameras and stuff. Because you know,
yeah, hopefully, because with people in the house, they're not going to let me set up cameras inside. So hopefully, there's a lot of outdoor activity.
well, I don't know. I mean, if things are bad enough, they're gonna want to get proof of it too. They might let us set up in the house depending on how we approach them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yep. Okay. So you're going to go. This is what I mean by this would be one family, and this would be another family, and this would be all one building. And they're most of them are about 2 stories high, and some are about 3 stories. In the 2 story ones are basically 2 story home units. The 3 story ones, each story is a different apartment, so they can the cheaper buildings.
okay.
Um, where are you going to start first? You're going to start with one that has like a two-family house. It's probably a larger family or higher income person. Or are you going to go to one of the 3 story ones that are split into single units?
Let's go to the three-story one because it'll be those would be easier to set up if they let us around the entire living areas
Indeed.
because they're going to be smaller.
And also, people pay more attention to rich people all the time. Let's hear what the average person has to say.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
screw the rich.
Yeah, they're assholes. I was probably adopted by some rich people that wanted a really pretty baby though, but whatever.
Okay. So
Self-loathing.
so you come to the one of the first things you get a list of some names that are on the uh, mailboxes. Give me a moment to type these out. I swear when you get pointed out that I'm rolling these random.
What happened?
What?
The
What
first
do
two
you
were
roll?
the first two were both I was starting to think I was going to get another situation where all the random names were women.
Oh.
What, you got something against the ladies, Luke?
No, just um, I'm being embarrassed. Sorry. That happened with in my regular Monster of the Week game when I us randomly assigned them a team of soldiers and scientists. Me and my brother randomly rolled names on buyingthename.com, and every one of them was female.
That's awesome. I love that.
And
Especially
oh no, there was one guy, but he got killed by a sniper.
oh, that's sad.
And then
What do
he earned the
you
advance. He earned the advance where he got a team that answered to him, and he decided, I'm just taking this team. Cue the jokes that Casper never learned about the scandal classes.
Hmm.
Um, did Scott want to join us, or
If Scott wants to join us, that's fine.
I mean, I don't know, like, because he could just be coming late to the group or something, you know?
It's like, hi guys, sorry I'm late. Yeah, where are the poltergeists?
Excuse me, my phone is ringing.
You can ask them while I'm writing up uh, name list.
But I've been kind of friends, so I checked the door.
Did she say she has to work?
Be right back, guys.
Nope. Ah.
Okay then.
While we're waiting, I think I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries.
We can BS a little bit. Wait, red numbers? There's red numbers. Okay, so you were coming up to one of the six family units. It's 3 stories. Uh, there, each story has one unit on here, on this side, and one unit on that side. So it serves 6 individuals, and those names on the unit you're coming to are right here: Maria Novak, Milan, Melania Tressler on the bottom floor, Katerina Sino, Uko Mohan, Aristides Jefferson, and Brenton Hendrick.
And these are all single person abodes, no families.
These are all single person abodes. They might have one or two might be as couples or something like that. I'm gonna, for the sake of simplicity, actually no. These might have families, but you're seeing single names on the thing. Most of these are basically apartments meant for one person.
Okay.
Steve Miller, you show up at the place. Alexander, did you get your van spray painted already?
Yeah, that's probably why I was distracted and didn't do so well in the
Right.
planning.
So Steve Miller comes in with his used car. Uh, per this setting, it's probably an electric motor. You can pull up next to Alexander's van, and it you can kind of note the smell of spray paint. So you're kind of thinking his van was vandalized again, and he's already fixed it.
Oh boy.
This is probably like the sixth time this has happened since we've known him.
Has it like whenever I hang out with Lorelai, my van gets vandalized.
in
Pretty much.
in some form or fashion. Not always the same way, but yeah, she's always
Huh.
with you. It's always provable that she had nothing to do with it. She she kind of lets out. Your van's good. Is your van going to be vandalized again when we see it next?
And like I'm just waiting for the day that we go out to check out the van and it's not graffiti. It's like some badass mural type shit. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for it to ramp up to that level because it seems like it's just going that way.
No, it'll never be that good because it's me.
Yeah, get too much amusement from it otherwise. Okay, so uh, looking into the van, they looks like they have set up um, a little. They have gotten some information on security videos to watch. So it looks like they may have already done a little bit of notes on the interview and such like that. And you think you see, and you're pretty sure of what place they're going to be starting interviewing with the residents. So you can catch up with them fairly easy. So Steve Miller comes to join you as you're discussing who you're going to talk to first, if you want to catch him up. Go ahead and have you guys meet.
I'm probably like getting after Alex. Like, did you text him? Does he know where we're supposed to be?
I texted everybody. I also sent out an
Hey,
email.
guys. Sorry, I got held up.
Mm,
You, how far have you gotten so far? We're gonna have to take really detailed notes on this. You realize?
I hold up my notepad. Wait.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. We're set then.
So,
Yeah, we're just
so
kind of
far,
trying to figure out who to go to first.
yeah, we're thinking about setting up in one of the apartments in this building. Um, Mostly because that way I don't have to try to set up cameras all over the complex. With all these vandals around, they'll probably get stolen.
We probably, or we talked to the manager, and like she was real concerned about giving us the pool footage because apparently the uh the maintenance guys are having, she believes, a illegal poker game there every now and again, which she was very reluctant to divulge. So I found that quite endearing, honestly. She didn't
Yes,
want to ride out the
apparently that's the biggest scandal to happen here. You
yeah,
know, a poker game.
yeah. But we
God
looked at,
forbid.
yeah, exactly. We looked at the list of names that we were given because we asked for where had activity, and I hand him the list. They're like, this is the different apartments and places that have had activity, and we just kind of picked one that where we think this is where most of it's happening. So that's probably our best chance to get something recorded. You know?
Do you guys give me a quick reasoning roll, Alexander and Lorelei,
Okay.
or Steve? Actually, you could do this as well.
Just reasoning.
Just flat reasoning, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
Mm-hmm. I'm not feeling very reasonable, you guys.
It's going to be 4D. You can roll physical dice if you prefer, Scott, Steve.
there
Oh,
we go.
never mind. Steve, some of the things you haven't heard from them is what kind of manifestations and what the first manifestation reported was.
Mm-hmm. So, what exactly are we looking at here? What have we? What's been reported? What kind of manifestations have you seen so far? Have you seen anything?
Nothing yet, but oh yeah, the thing about the pool. That was where the first thing was, or at least that they had record of. Um, and yeah, they said that it was reported that it froze over, but it was in July.
3 months
Huh.
ago was July, and the first reported one incident was the pool freezing over at the start of July.
Yeah,
Okay, that is an odd sign.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's definitely not normal. Yeah, but so that's why we were trying to get the footage of the pool area. We weren't trying to like probe on residents or anything like that. Um, but yeah, also we have some footage from the manager. We haven't had a chance to look at it yet, though. I was gonna check it out while Alex set up, but we kind of need to find out if we can set up first, I guess.
So they're here.
Okay, so
Go on.
we have to talk to somebody and get permission for that, or
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to just go barge into somebody's house and be like, "Hey, we're setting up shit in your house."
probably not the best idea.
Uh-uh.
Definitely not the best idea. Yeah, definitely not the best idea.
I'm glad you were both so very reasonable. So, Should we flip a coin about who we go to check with, or what do you guys think? Who do you want to try first? Also, I'm holding out a candy bar to each of them. Like, do you want some?
I'm okay. But choose between who, the maintenance guy or and the people in the building, or
Do you
Well,
want
no, it's,
do you want to I think you're probably wanting to get permission to set things up around this building because you guys think this is the epicenter because you looked at the pattern of reports and all that and said this looks like a good place. So you're
yeah,
probably going to want to get permission from the 6 people that live in this building to set up
yeah.
cameras around it.
here's a question:
Hmm?
Do the do any of the maintenance people live in this building?
No, they
Do they?
don't actually.
Excuse me, that's my phone.
The maintenance people live in another building. It's a little bit closer towards the front, so it's like near the office, so everybody knows where to find them.
How many incidents have happened there?
Mm, not many actually.
Okay. Well, not many is useless footage, so
Actually, overcome blocks to reasoning. Is that one of the? Steve, go ahead and roll your reasoning real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, it is like you said. There aren't that many instances right there. Uh, there there is something a little bit nagging at you, but there really isn't that many instances over there near the manager's place or the maintenance apartments. And
Hmm.
as a reminder, you can spend. I need to put up your list of fate points, don't I? You can spend fate points because the roll just tells you how much victory costs.
Okay.
And the average difficulty I use in this game is 3. So you rolled a 2. Okay.
So that would mean I'd need 2 fate points to figure it out, or?
No, 1 fate point gives you +2 or a reroll.
Oh, okay.
So if you spend 1 fate point by evoking one of your aspects, and you've got several aspects that relate to reasoning, you could make that into a success. There, I try to phrase it narratively rather than say, "Hey, you can spend a fate point to make that success."
Mm.
Yeah. This does seem like an inconsistency that might stand out to me, for example.
Right. You have combative critical
So,
thinker, skeptical parapsychologist, been burned before. You have a lot of things that.
yeah, okay. I will spend one to add +2 to that.
Yeah. As a note, you can only spend on the same action. You can only spend a an aspect once for fate points, but you can spend as many
Okay.
aspects as you want.
Hmm.
And if you have free tags on an aspect due to performing a maneuver of some sort, you can spend as many free tags as you want on a maneuver on a thing. This is how you get people rolling +20
Yeah.
because they decide I am going to succeed at this roll. This is the important roll. Yeah, it is ridiculously barren. You're looking at all the reports. There are bits of cold spots, places where things were wet, short circuiting electronics, that kind of thing. But whatever the source of this is, it almost seems to avoid the maintenance apartments.
Hmm.
Hmm. So either they have something to do with it, or there's something there that whoever this is, whatever this is avoiding.
Hmm. Did you reason that out aloud to us, or
I probably would have, yeah.
okay, or maybe it likes them, like maybe
Maybe it
they're
really wants part of their poker game.
yeah. I mean, because there's poker games.
Ghost poker.
That's
That'd
a
be
new
something to
thing,
see.
right? Um, so do you guys think we should go talk to the maintenance crew first then, since there's some correlation?
Maybe not approach it that way, but we could ask them if they've seen anything or they know anything about this stuff, because they have to fix everything once it happens.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Okay. Um, why don't you guys go do that, and I'll catch up with you, and I'll just go to a couple of the houses and see if they'll let me, or they'll let us like set up.
Okay, I'm going to ask you just to do a persuasion roll with that,
All
Lorelai,
right, cool.
and you get a +2 because prophet of hope. Whenever you're invoking positive emotions, you get a +2.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because like that's how I come at them about it. I'm like, hi, we're just here to check out. We've heard some strange things have been going on, and we just want to see what it is, and maybe we can help it stop. So we'll try not to get in your way, and we'll be really respectful of your things. Nothing will be damaged by us at least. If you be kind enough to let us set up our cameras in your apartment.
Okay, give me the persuasion roll, and we'll use that as a model for what you do to all the 6 people in that area.
Okay. So it would be +4, correct?
A total of +4 because of your bonus from your power. Yes.
Okay. And then I got a 6.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. You are incredibly charming to them. You're just. It's like, oh wow. It's like you even one of the people is like an older looking conservative religious type person, and it's like very very charming. It's like very polite for someone who looks like you.
And I kind of grin really big, showing off my fangs more when they say that. Like, oh, you're so kind.
Okay.
She's
So
going to eat you.
so you're the other two of you. Where are you heading for?
We were going to go talk to maintenance and see if uh, they know anything or if they've seen anything in the aftermath of this stuff.
Okay. So you're heading to the maintenance thing. They're up close to where the manager's office is. The manager has one of the larger townhouses on the lot that they live in. The maintenance crew. Some of them live in um, those 2-story ones that they are split between two different families, and each family has one half of a 2-story building. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but most of them seem to be in those 3-story single person to half a floor type units. And okay, so where do you go first? You're going to go towards the manager. You've already talked is in the office, so she's not at home. Are you going to go towards one of the bigger family things, or are you going to go towards one of the individual units?
What do you think, Alex?
Um, Again, equipment-wise, the individual unit would be a lot easier, but answer wise, one of the families might be better.
I think you guys are just going to talk to maintenance right now, though, right?
Well, yeah, but if maintenance has a family and they live in one of those,
Oh, you're thinking we might want to set up in one of their apartments?
either set up or ask questions or something. I'm not even
Yeah.
sure what questions to ask, but
I was just thinking we would go to like the maintenance office or wherever they would be working
Oh, that would
from.
work as well too. That would probably be a good one to work go towards me first. I didn't think of that. Good job. My apologies. So yeah, the maintenance office is the maintenance, shed type place is uh, a fairly large building with some of the equipment and stuff like that. Some spare solar panels, that kind of thing. Um,
Like bulbs, plumbing stuff.
yeah, there's a couple of different guys in overalls and older looking individual wearing a hat that looks like a military insignia on the front.
Hmm. So security guys hanging out with the maintenance crew.
Oh no, this isn't like a security person. This is like a veteran's cap.
Oh, okay. Excuse me again. Sorry.
With a fun ringtone.
It is a fun ringtone.
So I guess we would probably go up to him first because he seems like he might be the one in charge or the most senior. And excuse me, sir, we were wondering if we could ask you some questions about the strange events that have been happening here. If you've observed anything uh, after, for example, the pool got frozen over, or I understand there have been some other unexplained cold areas in the complex. Did you discover any reasonings for that, or did you see anything in aftermath of that?
Okay. Yeah.
and I am recording.
Okay. You are recording. It's like go. I've seen quite a few things. It's like some not waterproofing the equipment well enough. I've been There's an echo. Somebody in my crew isn't doing the proper waterproofing on things. Just getting water into a bunch of things is causing these short circuits. Almost every time, this pool of water somewhere.
Hmm. I'm not hearing any of this. Shit.
It's either faulty waterproofing or somebody is messing with our equipment.
I see. Was there have there been any particular signs of that, or something missing from the equipment when you check it out, or?
No, I mean, you get burned out circuits because it short circuits and water damage.
Oh, of course, yes. So there always seems to be water damage involved then.
Yeah, actually, now you think about it, kind of an odd way to sabotage to mess with things. That's why I kind of think it's a fault somewhere. Been ordering new parts
Hmm.
from new suppliers, see if it does anything.
Does there seem to be any pattern as to where it's happening, or either locations, or who was working on that area last, or anything like that?
He kind of pauses for a moment. Let me.
Well, he thinks, and the questions are going. Am I smart? And see if there's any report um, drownings in the pool.
Drownings in the pool?
Yeah,
Uh,
or incidents in the pool, like death related or something, even if it's not a drowning or something.
you can't find. Give me a quick, actually, reasoning roll, real quick. because you have scanning through things real quick. You have to do it. Actually, no. I'll make it knowledge. Knowledge, and because of your smartphone, I'll give you a +1. Are you able to roll? He's like, the
Yeah, I'm just typing it in.
okay. He says, can't really think of a pattern. It's let's see, it's been starting since July. So who's been on
That didn't show up. Hold on.
who's been on the patrol? He starts going towards his files and starts looking through. He didn't roll particularly well, so he's having some trouble trying to think of what it was. Um, you don't find anything particular
Okay.
about
I got a 2.
what was that? It's like you know, most of these events have been happening around. Actually, looking at this, looks like most of these events have been happening around late evening, midday.
I'm not just looking for a time. I'm not looking for the instance of a haunting. I'm looking for like news or anything of like
Yep.
before the incidents
Well, no, that was
of
the
anything.
that was
Oh.
the chief talking to Steve. It's like,
Oh, okay.
and it's like I think I've got it down to here's a couple of guys, and give me a moment here.
Absolutely, sir.
Oh yeah, I think my ringtone is Dropkick Murphys, by the way, just in case anyone was curious.
That's fun.
Yeah, I use it for my ex specifically. So.
Okay, let's see.
I've come across them at various things, but never actually looked into them in great detail, so I might have to do that.
They're pretty good. Irish rock. I mean, so it's energetic. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's actually going to be stopping by here in a minute, so I might mute for a few minutes just while he's visiting. But I think you guys.
So yeah, this was these three right over here. These three have been reported most of the troubles, or at least we're on shift in the areas where most of the troubles happened.
Okay.
It's Alton Breather, Katie Mills, Nathan Ryans. Katie's a veteran out of the Czech War.
Oh.
Went to my same unit, and he kind of points towards his cap, and you're recognizing now it's for service duty in India back in the '60s.
Thank you very much for your service, sir.
No problem. Burma's our mess. Might as well do what we can to pick it up. Alternate universes, yay!
Yep. All sorts of fun alternate history stuff.
Yeah.
Would in our collection of info about the incidents and stuff, would we have any way of mapping out where they happened and seeing if there's a pattern? He obviously didn't come up with one, but
yeah, you have the capability. It's just you guys ran out of patience.
Hmm.
when you tried it before, as you can see with the investigation plan over there.
Ah, yes.
You are more than welcome to be smarter than us.
If you want, Steve, you can look over their notes and their information and reevaluate their plan.
Okay. Would that be a reasoning again, or is that something else?
I'm going to give you a reasoning, a knowledge, and deception.
Okay. So,
That is a tie.
hmm. And then
Was that your
knowledge
reasoning?
is, yeah, that was reasoning. Knowledge is also 3. Okay. So that's a
That is a
5.
success
And deception
with
is,
the +1 for detecting lies.
yes. So that also ends up at 3 then. Nice.
Yeah. Okay. You look. You you've got this. You recognize this pattern. They got frustrated. They got bored. They went right to doing photos, to setting up cameras.
What happens?
See, this is why we need smart people here with us.
Well, we do need good visuals as well. You got to do the groundwork first.
It's me.
Okay, at about this time, Lorelai starts coming to say you've got permission to set things up.
Okay.
So
So we'll
Lorelai,
probably
um,
head over to those
yeah,
houses then,
yeah.
or apartments.
You do have a smartphone or computer laptop full of videos if somebody wants to watch while other people are if you want to watch while other people are setting things up.
Yeah, we got files of their and their security cameras up as best as they could get. So you're welcome to go through them.
Okay, that's probably reasonable.
Okay, so this is going to be a setup. I would like craft for Alexander. Lorelai, what are you doing?
She may be muted because she was having somebody come over.
Oh, right. So we'll leave Lorelai. Lorelai is probably watching the videos as well. So, Alexander, I would like you to roll craft, and Steve, perception.
Okay. Yeah, not great.
No, no, dude, you're kind of, after a while, they all start looking the same. I mean, you get the actual events, and you've got a wonderful camera setup over there.
He knows his stuff.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Okay, so yeah, your after a while, the videos start all looking the same. I mean, you catch when the actual events happen, but a lot of the times there's nothing or nobody on view. It is a lot of short
Yeah.
circuits
So
and
if there was anything more subtle, it's easy to
yeah,
miss.
yeah. It is a lot of if you want, you can succeed with cost or spend fate points.
Hmm. Well, maybe I'll try succeeding with cost and see where that goes.
Okay, so um, as you notice, you start noticing a little bit. of something. Give me a quick reasoning roll.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. It's about maybe half an hour to an hour before each event. There is a kind of shuffling looking young woman, Eastern European in appearance, uh, goes across the screen and stops and makes a quick shuffling step. She's dressed in a hoodie, really covered up, maybe teenager, late teenager, mid to late teenager. Stops, looks off in a direction, and then zips across the camera as fast as they can without looking like they're running. And a couple seconds later, one of the maintenance people comes on. And then half an hour to an hour later, there's an electrical short, or something freezes over, pipes freeze it over.
Huh. And is it always the same figure?
Pretty much, yes.
Would Lorelai recognize this person as somebody, one of the ones she would have talked to about the apartments?
No, she would not. All the apartments she spoke to were most. There was a couple in their 20s, but none of them had any kids.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, I
Next
will
there.
call Alex over from setting everything up and point this out to him so that we know we're looking for this person.
All right.
They
So
have something to do with something.
next theory. This is one of the maintenance person's kids, and is going around sabotaging things to make sure that they are consistently employed.
Hmm. That's a possibility, yeah. Seems a strange method of sabotage, but could be something.
I'm just going to throw out wild theories when I can.
As long as we follow everything up, something might be right.
Indeed. So, uh, what do you do from here?
Um, so we've got the camera setup done. Is that just sort of thing we leave to run and
More or less, yes. You can monitor it from the van or you know, a sun chair or something like that.
I
okay.
can set up a monitoring station around the pool.
You're going to set up the monitoring station around the pool?
I could, if you guys want to relax by the pool while we watch things.
I suppose it's possibly as good a place as any, although it is kind of concerned in the events as well. So we may want to have uh, some cameras there as well as these apartments.
I might have enough equipment to set up there too.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Did I miss anything I should know
We're all dead.
Nothing major.
about?
Alex set up an amazing um, set of cameras in the apartments, and uh, Steve did not do quite as well watching through them because they all got a little bit monotonous after a while. But
Hmm.
eventually, he figured out there was a person, probably teenager, in a hoodie, who kept showing up at the various different locations about half an hour before something happened.
Huh.
And they were usually followed by a maintenance person. Like they would show up and then shuffle around and then run away, and then a maintenance person would be there within moments.
Hmm.
So they're obviously avoiding them.
Yeah. can we get in touch with the maintenance crew and show them this footage and be like, do you know this person?
Trying to get in
Probably could.
touch with the what person?
Maintenance crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Just
Couldn't hurt.
send them the video, specifically of that part, and be like, hey, does this look like, anybody familiar to you by like their gait and all that? Then you can tell somebody like from how they walk and what have you.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that the person's hiding their face, or are they not?
They are, yes.
Yeah, okay. It'd be pretty dumb if they didn't, but you never know.
Yeah. I asked if it was anybody you would have recognized from checking out the apartments, but all of those people are older than this figure appears to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As far as we know, nobody there has a kid that age.
Right. None of those people there. Most of them are single. There was one married couple that were in their 20s, but nobody has a kid.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna take that footage to the van, and I'm gonna go through it and see if there's anything reflective.
Okay.
Try to get a better angle at that person's face.
Okay. Cool. You're going to the van. Is other people going to the maintenance crew with the videos?
We can if
I could do
that seems
that.
like a good idea. Yeah, we can do that.
I can set you up with GoPros.
That was I asked because that was one of the suggestions I heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable idea. If it's somebody who's trying to keep away from them, it might be somebody they know.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's go ahead and start with you two going to the maintenance crew. Are you going to you're going specifically to the three that are named because they're the ones that were around most often when this happened.
I was thinking we just go to the maintenance shack because they're all going to be there at some point or another during the day,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, and the chief sees you coming and says, "Oh, you're back here already. I thought you would have your things to set up and watch and ask questions to the air and such."
To the air and such.
Well, we did do some setup, but while my companions were doing that, I went through the older footage we got access to from your uh, manager, and it turns out that
Hello?
each time that these things were happening, about half an hour before, a specific person shows up on the video, and we were wondering if this might be anybody you recognize.
Oh, well, let me go ahead and look at it. Let's see.
So we bring that up on our tablets or whatever it is that we have that is available.
Okay. He starts kind of squinting at it. It's like, "Oh, yeah. I think that's the Zark's kid. They're I think they're German, I believe. They're from Europe somewhere. As kind of get a bad kind of are a little bit under down on the luck. I mean, they're over here because currently East Germany is overrun in war. Uh, the parents came over start about 10 years about 8 years ago, a little bit before the German War. Not been having the best of time, I think. I used to go swimming a lot.
Hmm. They are interested in swimming?
Yeah, she used to do a lot of swimming during every year or so. I mean every day really. Anytime it was summer, warm enough. Haven't seen her out much this summer.
I'm
Hmm.
sorry. What did I miss? Because phone.
No problem. Speaking of which, do you have any other questions actually?
I didn't hear the answer. Is my thing. What did they say happened? Did they recognize which person or?
They recognize the general family name. I believe her name is uh, Leanna. Yes, Leanna.
The person who was skulking around.
Yeah, they, the chief thought he figured it was the daughter of this East German family that's moved over because of the war.
Okay.
They actually came a little bit ahead of the war, but yeah, because of the war.
All right. Does he think that they would be amiable to speaking to us, or does he have any suggestion on how to approach them?
They're decent enough people. I don't know. They're kind of private,
Hmm.
but I don't think if you're polite enough, I don't see why they would be too much of a trouble.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your help. We appreciate it.
Okay. Alexander, give me a perception roll. Oh dear.
Oh, thanks for that difficulty.
What was it?
It's a 5.
Damn.
He does have a wonderful camera setup, though. So
Yeah, he does have a wonderful camera set up. Okay, so you're going to be. What is your agility?
To
It's a tie.
I'm getting jumped in the street, aren't I?
Yeah.
You get
Okay.
what?
You turn around and you see the first of you see the fist of the first of two guys. You're going over towards the van, and you turn around to see a guy in the maintenance outfit hauling off with a punch towards your face, and you just barely able to dodge off and land on your back on your butt. You're off your feet.
What the shit did you do?
I was going to go investigate the footage further. Holy crap! What the fuck?
Do you remember when someone succeeded with cost?
Really?
oh dear.
Apparently, I'm suffering the cost.
You're the one that went off on their own.
Uh,
Alex is never gonna hang out with Lorelai again.
what the fuck? The hell are you doing?
And it's like, oh, get just one of them is looking around, making sure nobody's paying attention. Just get him down, get him, and give me what you're doing. You are currently on the ground.
Well, let's see. I think my fight's probably worth shit. So I am going to pull out my smartphone. Do either of you have a smartphone? Lorelai or Steve?
I don't remember.
Hmm. I have a one that's hooked in with my glasses.
Yeah, I don't.
All right.
Um, Lorelai has a laptop which your smartphone can send to.
Okay. Well, all I need is like your more standard smartphone stuff. I'm gonna quickly FaceTime Steve, but have the camera pointing toward what these guys are doing to me as I run away, or at least
Okay.
attempt to not be pummeled.
I
Okay,
feel as though you've been in a situation before, Alex.
you're trying to FaceTime to Steve so that you can at least pause, get them to stop.
Get them to stop and get Steve and Lorelai to at least head over to help. Because
Okay,
it's obviously I'm getting pummeled in front of my van.
yeah. Give me an agility roll.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm just having a feeling like I would be no help, but I'll come try anyway. I don't know, persuasion, reasoning, empathy, maybe some of those I could talk them out of beating the crap out of you. Possibly, I guess.
That's a tie. Okay, so you get about a couple seconds. Right now, you're going to get about a couple seconds. It looks like he's going to take the smartphone out of your hand and toss it aside. You're going to get a couple seconds of FaceTime as it currently stands. That will send out towards Steve. You do have fate points you can spend if you want.
Um. Yeah, I'll use one.
Camera between me and reality.
That is literally what's happening. So.
Yeah, that sounds very appropriate.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to get the video in his face and FaceTiming you, FaceTiming Steve. Steve, you're getting a you're getting a ring on your phone.
Mm-hmm. And I activate it with my augmented reality glasses,
Okay,
and then I just see whatever this is kind of playing in front of me.
it looks like an
Oh my.
angry man trying to reach. It look the HUD says it's Alexander, but it's an angry man. It's like little punk, get that out of my face. And Alexander, I need you to roll agility again.
Dodge, boy, dodge!
Stop trying to kill me.
Dodge!
I have to roll perfect to do that. Well, not perfect, but close enough to perfect.
And because you didn't do anything about being on the ground, he's going to use that aspect to get even a bigger hit on you. So you're going to take 3 stress. He's going to manages to get a kind of glancing punch on you, and you're going to take 3 stress. It's not an actual consequence. You don't have an actual injury yet, but
You're not happy about getting your butt kicked, apparently, which is understandable.
yep. So
Mhm.
Steve, what are you doing?
I can obviously tell that Alex is in trouble. Get the video enough to tell where he is, or well, I knew he was going back towards the van anyway, so I would probably just say, "Lorelai, Alexander's in trouble. We gotta go help," and attempt to go help.
In trouble with what? What the hell? Chasing after.
Okay. So I want both of you to make basically run checks. It's going to be agility.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, agility.
Okay.
Okay. That's +2.
No.
What's yeah?
0 successes.
It's not exactly the way it's supposed to do. You did
Oh,
4DF.
it's because you didn't have the plus in.
Yeah, you did 4DF2 instead of 4DF plus 2. So
I'm the worst at rolling things today. What the fudge?
Ironically,
the fun thing
what
is
the
that
dice
these
are
are
called.
actually fudge dice.
There we go.
I got 4.
You got a 4. Okay. And Steve got a 3. Okay, so you're not going to be quite making it yet, but you are closing the distance to where Alexander is having trouble with these two guys. Okay, so Alexander,
Okay.
the other one seems to be getting a little bit annoyed with his friend and steps in to try to grab you from behind as you're now no longer on your ass. That is gone. You got stood up. You stood up when he hit you in the face or glanced past your face. But one of the others is trying to grab you from behind.
Um, I guess I'll try to donkey kick him.
Okay, roll strength.
Is this revenge for all the times I like completely destroy your villains?
No, 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 it isn't.
Yeah, it is. It totally is.
You definitely you're missing him, and he dodges past you, and now and he dodges past you, and you're a little bit off balance now, and he tries to go ahead and grab you. So you're going to need to make an agility. Actually, make a strength roll because he's trying to grapple you. Really? The dice like my villains today.
Damn, dude.
No, they just hate me.
Yeah, you're grabbed and grappled. You have a 4 block on you. If you want to do anything, you're going to have to make a strength roll against 4.
Not if I want to scream really loud.
You can scream really loud. Anything physical and moving around, yeah. The other one tries to punch you in the face again. You have no defense anymore, so it's 0. 2 stress. You have
Oh, that put me at 5.
no, it doesn't. That means your second you see where those zeros are on the health thing.
Yeah.
The second one and the third one are now X's.
Oh, good. That's great.
If you another thing you can do is you can take a consequence, which is a lasting injury. Like minor ones go away after about 5 minutes. Major ones go away after about a day. That's stuff like bruised black eyes and such. So you take a consequence, it reduces stress. If you take stress and you're not able to fill up either one of those circles or um, take a consequence, then you are taken out.
I'll take a consequence.
Okay, I'm going to say you're bruised, which means
Yeah, me too. I have this biggest, blackest eye.
well, you don't have a black eye yet because he hasn't managed to do a major consequence on you. You're bruised. Okay. Um, our agility checks from our other two people, please.
All right.
Okay, you're both arriving on hand to see one guy holding Alexander and the other one trying to smash his face in. Speaking of which, Alexander, you get another chance to break out of the this hold. So roll your strength, and I got to roll his.
This should be laughable.
Maybe not. You
Oh,
break free.
there you go.
You've broken free. So the other one's trying to
More
punch
like
you again.
legal.
The other one's trying to punch you again.
Are we close enough to where we can yell or anything? Like,
You just arrived on scene, so this is their turn now, and you're about to be
okay.
able to you're close enough to yell, yeah, and you'll be able to interfere in the next round.
Okay.
So he's trying to hit you, so you're going to roll agility to dodge.
I don't want to roll Rick.
Why are you rolling Rick?
Because I keep typing Rick instead of roll.
Interesting. You dodge.
Nice.
Okay, so
Well, I was
Lorelai,
going to say these guys are never going to give you up, but apparently they are.
yeah, Lorelai and Steve, you arrive on scene in time. Now you are close enough to take actions. What are you doing? It is your turn.
I mean,
Um,
like, the first thing would be to yell, "Hey, get the hell away from him!" Like, that would be the
yeah,
instant
probably.
thing to do. While continuing to barrel forward, obviously.
Right. Give me a
Yeah.
persuasion roll.
Mm, two.
Unfortunately, this is not a positive one, so the hope thing doesn't throw in. Um,
I would probably um, do something similar and maybe also try and like grab Alexander and pull him further away.
okay, give me a maneuver to grab Alexander further away, and go ahead and you can do a persuasion roll as well. One of the two is hesitating, Lorelei. The other one is not seeming to be budging at all. If you want to if you want to spend fate points on anything.
Um, the guy that's the one that is hesitant, or I'm gonna turn to him and I'm gonna be like, "Are you gonna really let this guy get you put in jail for beating up on somebody? You're gonna get fired already. If you help us, maybe it'll look better to the judges when you go to court because you're definitely going to court."
Okay. Let's see. That is going to be another persuasion thing, but let me get that after Alexander and Steve tries to pull away Alexander. Steve.
Okay.
Okay, here's my persuasion. And do I do anything different for a maneuver or?
Well, they're resistant to your willpower. Their willpower rolls are resistance. The maneuver to pull him out is going to be you're basically grabbing him, and I'm using terminology. Just roll agility. Maneuver is when you do things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So agility would be not great.
Yeah, it looks like the one that isn't hesitating manages to get in your way and prevent you from getting on hand. Um, let's see, Lorelai, give me a persuasion roll. I'm going to give it a little bit of an edge, which means it basically has a mental weapon rating. Um, so you are going to get it is persuasion, so you're going to get +2. So you do 4.
And was that +2 on top of her ordinary +2?
No, the ordinary plus that was not. If she wants, okay. If you want to spend a fate point, he has to take a mental consequence.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be quietly she.
Yeah.
or subtle uses of power. Both work actually.
Any either one, whichever you feel is more thematically appropriate.
Okay. Um. Oh wow! I forgot I had put that in there.
Hmm.
Your foe aspect is I changed my race to avoid my family, which means if you look white now, you weren't white before.
Hmm.
Genetic modification is a thing in this setting. Um,
Okay.
anyway, um, yeah, he is hesitant and just looks terrified. When you start talking about you are going to court, he looks unduly terrified about the idea of going to court. Oh, it's well and truly above what you would expect somebody to be afraid of over a tussle in a parking lot.
Right.
Give me a perception roll. You are of alertness, so give me a +2.
Okay. You said a +2 on it?
Yeah, so perception plus alertness is going to be a total of +4 for you.
Okay. 4 dice for me. I got 5.
Okay, you kind of see out of the corner of your eye a woman in maintenance. Maintenance. You're remembering there's 3 names on the list of the people that are commonly seen around these things. Coming
Mm-hmm.
around a corner with a shotgun.
What the fuck? Uh, 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 y'all, we need to go.
I'm
Yeah.
trying. I'm trying to go.
Okay, so for running, I need all of you to make agility rolls.
I'm gonna die.
How close are we to the van? So it might be
Not too
easier to
far.
leave in that.
Not too far, actually.
Probably should run to the van.
Ooh, Steve's good at running all of a sudden.
Okay. Lorelai's not so good at running.
No, Lorelai is pushing herself because she sees somebody with a gun.
Oh boy.
Run, Lorelai, run!
Okay. Let's see. And yeah, you, Alexander and Steve, you managed to get to the van just fine. Lorelai, you're coming up behind. I need you to make an agility check again. Actually, no, this is a perception check because it's defense against ranged.
Okay. You said perception?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Got 4.
The shotgun blast destroys some of the tree above you, and you get into the van right behind the other 2.
Jeez. Okay. Close the door. Start the van. Let's go.
Going, 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 going.
Yeah, give me another agility check.
Oh, good. My favorite.
We did not sign in for homegrown terrorists. What the fuck is going on here?
As you're closing the door, you hear her shouting, "We're not going to go to jail over some refugee terrorist crap."
What the fudge? Oh no. This lady right here.
Remember, Eastern Europe in this setting, Eastern Europe is where the long-term war is going on.
She's still being an asshole and what the hell?
Yeah, your car your car is taking shotgun fire. Not enough to actually damage it severely, but paint the side of the van is there is shotgun damage to the outside of your van.
Uh um
Nerd rage.
I'm gonna look to Steve and be like, Steve, Call the cops. Call the cops. Call the cops.
Probably the best we can do, yeah.
They're insane. What the hell kind of bullshit is this?
Lorelai, grab one of my cameras.
Okay, I'll rustle around in the back and try and find a camera.
Okay. Give me a quick perception check.
No, I can't do it.
Speaking of which, give me a driving check, Alexander. Which is agility, sorry.
0.
Yeah, you're having troubles finding one in the jumble of other equipment. It looks like most of the ones you easily recognize are already set up. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you rolled
No, that wasn't
2d4.
right. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
What is life?
The advantage I've found is if you press the up arrow, it just does whatever the last thing is that you did. So
Oh.
Yeah, that.
you can do.
Yeah.
If there's lots of +2s or whatever, you can just change the final number.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So, you look back, call her back. She says she can't find the camera. You look back to talk to her about. You're looking back to talk to her about. It's over there, and then you turn around back to the car, back to the front, and as you're looking, you're seeing a street light coming up in front of you.
Shit.
Oh, fuck.
Remember, you can still spin. This is not the end of the action yet. You're about to run into a street light, though.
I'll spend a fate point. I do not want to crash.
On make it look good.
That would mean we still crash, right?
Yeah, I really don't have an aspect for this. Other than not wanting to die.
I think in this case, make it look good is probably your best bet.
Okay.
It's a character. It's a character aspect, which means it can be more broadly applied. Okay.
We are gonna crash with style.
Yeah, you go skidding along, just barely missing the street lamp, and you go plowing through a fence and onto a lawn.
Oh man.
That did not look good. That did not look good.
Is there like tripods back here?
There are tripods back here. Steve, what are you doing?
Calling the police, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, you're calling the police.
yeah,
Okay,
there's
Not-
people shooting at us.
911 emergency.
Somebody's chasing us with a shotgun.
Could you be more specific? And they get a little bit more excited. Where are you? What is your location? What is the situation?
We were investigating some odd phenomena at this apartment complex. We're a group. We do this it's part of our college stuff, and we were just getting some of our things set up, and then somebody came around the corner and started shooting at us.
Okay, give me a willpower check.
Okay, that would be. Okay, +2. Not great.
Yeah, you're okay. Let me roll a little bit here. You're taking 2 mental stress. You're feeling a little bit of rundown, but you're staying on the
Yeah,
phone and
understandably.
you're ranting. You're not really giving them great information. Some part of you is aware they're probably tracking your GPS and mostly just keeping you talking to keep you on the line and keeping you calm as much as possible. Especially when there's another shot. Give me an agility roll, Alexander.
By the way, does the van get any better agility than we as people do?
I don't. I'm not using vehicle rules for this. I'm mostly just using his agility. But the
Okay.
van has armor, and on ties, the only thing that happens on the ties, heroes get boost against them, not full damage. So you're going to be rocked a little. So um, you're not your card isn't damaged, but you're going on the edge of your tires, and that shotgun blast certainly rang out towards the cops on the other end of the line.
Are they any further away from us? I mean, like we're driving and they're running, right? So like, shouldn't
Yeah,
they
they're
be?
falling behind. They're falling behind. I'm making these are very very short rounds. This is one of the things you
Yeah.
can do with Fate is rounds aren't always the same amount of time. And
Mhm.
if you want to make things very tense, you make the rounds very short.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I'm like, are these like motherfucking androids or something? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? You
Yeah.
know?
No, you are breaking ahead. You have one more shot to get a camera to get a view on them.
Okay.
They have lost all their shots on being able to get a shot. That was their last attempt to get a shot off at you. Um, Go ahead and give me a perception roll to see if you can get a camera in time to get a video of the lady shooting the shotgun at you.
Okay. Out of curiosity, what does my glamour do?
Glamour is just the same as chi. It's basically your life force.
Okay.
It would be used to power psychic abilities. Um, Everybody has access to some minor psychic things, like you can do pull hunches, or you can have a what I call lucky stroke, but it was actually is a manifestation of subconscious telekinesis.
Mm, okay.
Can I
Okay,
spend a fate point to make sure she gets a camera?
no.
I
Oh, you can make,
okay.
but you can do a knowledge roll to direct her.
Should I wait for him to roll before I roll?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It's
um,
speaking of raining everywhere. It's raining here now. How did you
oh
guys
God,
get? How did
all
you
gonna
guys send?
upload.
How did you guys send me rain from Jersey?
Magic.
All right, I'm still gonna try to push things. Can I get the +2 because of professional audiovisual expert?
Yes, you can, because you know
You
your
know
equipment.
this.
This knowing your equipment. This is a knowledge roll. Knowing where your equipment is a part of being professional.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I'm like yelling, like, you need to clean this effing van out sometimes. What the hell, dude?
I have a system. I have a system. The system is chaos theory, but I have a system.
So you have two tags on I have a system. Two two free tags. You can spin them both on this roll. Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Me?
Yes.
I have two extra die. Is that?
No, you roll the same 4DF, but you have these two
Uh,
tags, which means they count as free fate points, basically.
okay. Well, I will need.
So you can spin. I would spin one for a reroll,
Okay. Oh, that's much better.
and you can even spin another one to make that even more tremendously a success with style.
Does that mean that I'll get the camera out and get the picture off?
Yes.
Yes, then I want to do that.
And organics, if you get all pluses or all minuses, and since there's a profit in the party, all zeros, would usually grant you a bonus XP related to the thing you were doing when you made the roll.
So, finding things or taking pictures?
Uh, Perception, finding things, and taking pictures, either one in this case. But yeah, it wouldn't matter because 1 XP is not enough to spend in a single session. But in the actual campaign, that would give you 1 bonus XP to spend towards perception or photography.
Hmm, so, Good to know.
Yeah. And since you're a prophet, that would happen on rolling all blanks. It's normally for all minuses when you really, really fail or really, really succeed. With prophet, because prophets make people learn faster by editing in thoughts from other realities. Um,
Oh, okay.
they give bonus experience when people roll all zeros as well.
Wow, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you are able to get a camera and take a picture, several clear pictures of the people following you before the van goes around the edge. You are now no longer being. You hear one last shot go off, but it is nowhere near you. It is just desperation fire.
Yeah. Um. And okay, and you're still on the phone with the police, right?
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna drive toward the police station because if that's where the cops being dispatched from, we'll probably meet in the middle.
Yeah. Steve, what are you doing?
I'm going to try and calm down a little bit and give them like directions, like we're on this street, we're driving this way, we're doing,
I need all of you to make willpower rolls again. I should have had this earlier, but anyway, everybody make willpower rolls again.
Okay.
Willpower. Jeez. Worst willpower.
Okay, so you're taking for stress, mental stress.
Mm.
If you want, you can. If you want, you can take that as a minor. You can reduce that by 2 as a minor consequence. But both stress and minor consequences go away as soon as you have 5 minutes to catch your breath.
Yeah, I feel as though it's totally thematically proper for me to be freaking the out right now and being stressed. Makes more sense.
What stress is? It's really minor stuff. Like if you had health stress, you didn't actually get like I had one time a health stress where somebody was being shot at with arrows. The When they got hit, they didn't actually in the narrative get hit. The arrow landed in the car right next to them,
Yeah.
and they had health. They had some health stress because of the endurance to make that final dodge.
Right.
But yeah, so you are taking it as a mind stress. So your fourth block is an X now.
Fourth block.
Yeah.
I
Steve is taking 3, so his third block is an X now. Unless he
was
Okay.
wants to take a consequence, which at this point I don't think you really need to. And
Yeah, because I've
Alexander,
taken 2 and now I'm taking 3.
yeah, and Alexander is taking 1 stress in the first block, but he took a bruise, so which
after
I never abused the bruise or the on edge, and I could have so much. I get 1 free use of the of when you take a consequence. I get 1 free use of it.
but
Okay,
you like
yeah,
this.
you are now escaped. Everybody, give me a quick empathy roll.
Okay.
Okay, what is that?
That's even worse.
Lorelai, you can add your occultist to this.
Oh, fuck everybody.
No worries.
Alexander is not feeling empathetic.
Alexander was a little bit distracted by the fact that he had people trying to kill him, trying to beat him into submission,
Do
possibly
you mean
trying to
my
kill him.
natural impact?
Uh, yeah, actually, give me your natural empath and occultist.
Okay. And a filter. So. Hmm.
Really? There is
Yeah.
something niggling at you, Lorelai and Steve. There is something niggling at you. You can succeed with cost. You can spend fate points.
How many fate points do I have? Have you been keeping track? I think I
Yeah,
have
that's
three.
the green squares next to your name.
I'll spend a fate point. I want to know what's going on.
Um, I'm going to put it at the one that makes sense to this is subtle uses of power.
Okay.
I so wanted you to do success with cost. Oh well. So, um, you kind of know a little bit from experience because you know weird things happen around you. Um,
Hmm.
intense emotions can sometimes make things worse or worse. If a
Right.
young psychic had a trauma that might trigger their powers,
Hmm.
and then they might have trouble controlling them again, like if the trauma was relived.
Hmm.
Like if a refugee kid from Europe, from Eastern Europe, ran afoul of some um, bigots.
And they might be projecting that fear onto anyone around them that they don't trust or that they don't know is not
Yeah,
specifically.
and if their power is, say, generating cold, it might produce ice in weird places.
Mm, okay. And with that one guy being a veteran, I mean, you might just automatically assume all vets hate your specific um, nationality if they fought against your
Yep.
country.
There is a tendency there's some tendency in this case to mistake one Eastern European type for another. So
Yeah.
Germans will, in fact, people from Minnesota get this problem despite being born in America and being from America all the time. You know that stereotypical Minnesotan accent will get in trouble with people that think they're foreigners.
Really? I never thought it was that much of a foreign type of accent, but okay. Um,
Alternate universe and idiotic bigots.
yay. Uh, so should I relate that to the guys? Do I have time to do that? I
It's
mean,
up to you, but
um, yeah. I mean, I feel like why wouldn't I tell them what I think is going on? I don't see any reason not to.
so
But like, are we?
go
I
on.
mean, I'm just trying.
You're still driving.
Okay. Um, Honestly, I don't know that those folks were actually acting just by themselves. It seems really weird that these people that work in this place that has foreign residents would feel this way. I mean, like if that's how they felt, why would they even work there? That doesn't make any sense. But like if somebody who has certain abilities thinks that they feel that way, maybe they're projecting it. Maybe that's why they're acting like that.
Possibly, yeah.
Interesting.
I
It
mean,
did seem odd that we were talking to the maintenance people and they were being helpful, and then one of them
yeah,
comes up with a shotgun.
yeah. But I mean, like I said, and like it's a homegrown terrorist cell out of a maintenance shack. That's kind of just I don't buy it. I mean, I guess it's possible, but
You guys aren't. You guys want to go back there?
well, we have to at least do something to warn the people there. I mean, if
We will have to get your cameras eventually.
yeah,
Alexander, give me a quick agility check because there is suddenly a police car in front of you.
what are they driving on the wrong side of the road?
No, somebody is though.
Way to go!
Fuck.
Right.
Yeah, you're heading straight on for a police car.
Um. Um.
Oh boy.
Fuck, I don't want to crash into a police car either.
Swerve, man, swerve!
I don't know if I can make this look good.
You can do it. We'll go up on one wheel. It'll look awesome.
Make a video to be remembered.
Yeah, for real though. Like
I
I
guess I'll
have,
put another fake point into it.
You can
yeah.
put two. You can put into make it look good and make a video to be remembered, and you have a success.
Well, I
Yeah.
have one of the cameras, and I know like the newer models can do video and still photography. So like I can totally film this while it's happening.
So it's
Yeah.
on
Okay.
videos.
I'll fake this up. Uh.
You come to a cruising stop as you into somebody's parking. It's a really bad parking job, but you're in somebody's driveway. As the one police car stops and another car goes rushing past them, and cop comes out and with a gun and saying, "Hands out!"
Okay, hands out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, you
I
don't
don't
give
I
any.
was not. I'm sorry.
You give no. Okay, just making sure you're giving no no counter or anything like that.
Like okay,
I would probably, since we still have the 911 line open, I'd probably ask the dispatcher if this is legit, but otherwise I'd be getting out of the car.
Yeah, it's like yes, this. Were you the one that just almost ran into the police officers?
whoops.
I'm
That's the
panicking. I'm sorry.
that's the
We were
dispatcher.
escaping the guy with the shotgun.
Okay, yes, those are legitimate police officers. Please put down the phone at this point.
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I would like
Okay.
to point out that if I look white now, that means I wasn't white before. So
Right.
I know better than to argue with police officers.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, Steve wasn't going to argue either. He just wants to make sure this is, not some setup
Yeah,
or something.
that was a good move actually. That was legit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The police. The once you're down and going to like the police are quick to calm down and get kind of frustrated, but people escaping guy. They can see the van is shot up, and it's like okay, we got the witnesses. And we're the second car is moving on the site.
You need to warn the people in that building that the maintenance workers are, I don't know, maybe it's a mold thing or something. They're not being themselves. And you need to warn the people there that they need to lock their doors and not let the maintenance in under any circumstances.
The let's see here. Steve, you're pretty sure the chief maintenance man was completely on the level. He just didn't seem to realize anything at all. Um, it's these three specifically.
I'm just worried that if
Yep.
the, like, out of character, I'm worried that if the psychic's influence spreads at all, that it would encompass even more of the people, which,
That's a reasonable worry. Uh, Give me a quick knowledge roll with occultist.
Is it okay if I sit down?
Yes, go
Kinda,
ahead. Go ahead. Sit down. You're fine.
uh, I kind of grip where I got pummeled.
would you say also with the empath thing to be able to tell somebody could be turned toward that kind of violence?
This would probably be not the info. This is knowing about how psychic abilities, the theory of psychic abilities.
Okay. I had a 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the whole thing about making suggestions about there might be the police do work with psychics, so you would know that. You might say there is a psychic that might be having a little bit of an issue or something like that. Um, there is,
Okay.
um, as she's talking, there's something niggling at Steve. Steve, can you roll knowledge real quick?
Sure, I can do that. That would be +3. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's enough. Steve, there is nothing particularly that that if this if this psychic's abilities are generating cold, they quite likely don't have telepathy or much telepathy or that kind of thing.
They're different skill sets.
Most of the time, it, most of the time, you have it's not in public knowledge that people would share telekinetic and telepathic ability. It does happen in the setting, but it's not public knowledge. So all the science that is out there is, and most of the talent that people run across only have one, and you would have to train the others. So most of the science that is public is you have one talent. You manipulate your body, you manipulate telekinesis, metabolic, telekinetic, or sensitive, not all three, or not both, not two.
Okay.
If you, between that, are you going to share that real quick?
Yeah, I would probably tell them it can't be the same person or phenomena that's causing these two different things.
Uh, Give me a quick willpower roll, Lorelei.
Okay. One.
Okay, this kind of hits you like a ton of bricks.
Okay.
It's not that the psychic is affecting them. You're thinking back to the story about the pool being reported frozen over.
Mm.
The maintenance people attacked the psychic and triggered them.
Okay.
And now she triggers every time she sees one. She sees one of them.
Mm. Okay.
And you're just suddenly realizing this, and you take 4 mental stress, which you were already at
Okay.
4. So you're going to be a sudden realization of that could be me.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. All right. So we're looking at it that way. Then I want to share the information, but I don't necessarily want to share it with the police because I don't really have like any reason to trust them yet. But I would want to tell like my classmates because at least I know them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I would ask the officer, "Hey, can me and my friends have a minute? I kind of need to settle. I'm feeling really bad."
Yes, yes. Go ahead, go over there. Um, just getting permission to head on.
I'm gonna like grab you guys and drag you over to like far enough away where the officer cannot hear what the hell I'm saying, and tell you guys what I just kind of like stumbled upon, and like you can tell I'm not taking the idea very well. Like I'm shook.
Uh, all right, man.
Yeah. So apparently those guys had something like they were jerks to begin with, and yeah, I don't know what to do though. Like, do we tell the police that? I mean, I don't have any way to prove it.
Yeah, that's
Do
kind
you
of.
think there's something else affecting them? Or,
I think that the person that they beat up is affecting them because they're so scared.
well, yeah, but that person is doing the cold spots and freezing things, and they can't be affecting them mentally as well.
Oh, not to, not for nothing, but if somebody was throwing around ice, and also somebody I had a hatred for anyway, I'd be acting irrationally as hell too.
Hmm.
Do you think maybe the person that's affecting the staff knows the other person then? Like maybe it's
I
their
don't.
history.
I don't think anybody's affecting the staff. I think you have a bunch of hateful bigots with a foreigner with psychic powers. And it's literally 1+1 equals fish.
I love that saying. Would I have observed anything through going and consulting with the maintenance people? Is there a way to tell whether I think maybe there is some basis to that, or if that it's still out of character for them to be bigots? Or...
You have feed connected from the setup, the wonderful, wonderful setup that Alexander gave to you. You have about 2 tags on that wonderful camera setup, which I need to put it there. So go ahead and give me a quick. All three of you, you can look at your laptops and other such stuff if you want. Um, one way to do this is have two of you roll on the wonderful camera setup to increase it to get more
Mm-hmm.
tags, and then one of you actually make the reasoning roll to find the evidence and use
I
all those tags.
I have two reasoning, but I'm also really shook, so I don't know if that even would be able to apply right now.
Um,
Mhm. I have 3
what role is it
reasonings.
to for take making the camera setup even better?
Yeah, basically adding more tags and knowing where you would be knowing it's when you maneuver an aspect that's already in place, you're making the best use of a faction something that's already there. Um, you're making best
Well,
tactical or best efficient use, and that just adds more tags to it. So you
uh,
can roll your craft or actually roll your knowledge with your professional, and you can try to add more tags to the wonderful camera setup.
so am I adding just the +1 or the +2?
This is going to be knowledge and your professional, so both.
No, because on professionals, gain a +2 bonus on knowledge rolls related to AV work, or +1 on maneuvers related to AV work.
Oh, this is a maneuver, so +1.
Okay.
Alright, and would I roll knowledge or
You can roll. Uh, you can roll. You can roll perception because I like scanning through the. This would be scanning through just a second set of eyes scanning through. That is enough for another tag.
okay? Can I use natural empath to read the people's body language
Yes, you can.
to better?
Yes, you can. So I'll let you
Alright,
actually use empath instead of perception.
okay. It's the same anyhow, but yeah. I got a 4.
That's another tag. So you have free tags you can use. You can use them all at once because those are free use. Those are free tags. That's the difference between free tag and a fate point. Is fate point on a particular aspect can only be used once. So if you want to use more than one fate point, you have to have more than one aspect. But a free tag can be used as many free tags as exist. So last one is reasoning, I believe, to find the evidence, Steve.
Okay.
And you can spend all of those to give it a +8.
Damn.
Sure, why not? Seems good.
That's the entire reason you pull that.
Yeah. So that gets us to 11.
And for people who wonder
It
why I
goes
started them
to
with 2 tags, that camera setup originally was a roll of a 6. So that was a success with style. I just forgot to put the tags on originally. So for whoever watches this later. Um, that is 11. That is well and above. While you can find a place that um, while you were going over the videos, Alexander was setting things up, and you and Lorelai were going over the videos, and you found that pattern. Um, the video cameras caught one of the maintenance crews listening in on you, and then going off to go tell. And the other video cameras, the older security things, when Lorelei starts looking for it, it's definitely that Leanna was definitely trying to avoid those maintenance people, and they were when they saw her, which wasn't very often. She usually saw them first. They were
Mm-hmm.
very aggressive and giving really threatening,
Mm.
forbidding glances.
Okay.
You have so much evidence you can give the police.
All right. Yeah. But like, I'm gonna let one of the guys deal with the police because I still don't really like dealing with them very much,
Yeah.
and I think I kind of need a minute still after everything that happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, I think you've actually solved the main issue,
Mm-hmm.
and there you go.
I'd probably just like look to Alexander and be like, "Do you want me to talk, or do you want to talk? It's your camera setup."
No, you're the reasonable, intelligent person. You can talk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll expect
so
that
I
he's kind of
yeah,
like,
so we'd like go through and take the things that Lorelei found and bring them over to the sergeant or whoever was debriefing us and
Yeah.
explain what we figured out.
Yeah, I imagine at one point during that conversation, one of you says, "Well, Lorelei's the one that always talks to people." Oh, right, Lorelei's over there rocking herself.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking for more candy bars. I'm feeling really stressed out.
Oh no, she's going to get
This police
hyperactive.
station has a surprisingly good vending machine.
Yeah, definitely.
You weren't here. You weren't here, Scott, for this, but the she in Divine Blood, they don't store fat the way humans do because they're evolved to look very beautiful and keep that look. So
Mm-hmm.
when they overeat, they get hyperactive to the point of moods of extreme behavior.
Oh dear.
I feel like the extreme behavior in this case is going to be like mothering Alexander because he got in a fight, and I'm like so worried about him now. Like he's all
Yes.
beat up as far as I'm concerned.
We all
Like,
like go and try and patch up the van that has shotgun blast in it now. It's a lot worse than graffiti.
As I realize it, oh no, my van!
So when we started this, the mood was suggested somewhere between really goofy and really horrific. So I settled on that. There are a lot more horrific variations of this scenario that I could do.
Let's do
Mm-hmm.
another. Let's do another.
There
Or you
will
could go completely the other way and get Scooby Doo.
there will be another one of this next week. I have another run scenario to run at 6 o'clock in the morning and about 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 12 o'clock at noon in about 7 hours. So I should probably get some sleep.
Fair
Mm.
enough.
I'm hoping everybody had fun. This is by far
Yeah.
my least polished scenario.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hit a little close to home, but I mean, that's nothing wrong with that, you know.
I was a little bit hesitant given the subject matter. I'm kind of vague on the nature of the attack and such. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's just, man, that is rough. Can Lorelai go back and like make sure that the person that got attacked gets counseling and stuff like that?
yeah, that's definitely a thing that she can do. And
Okay.
actually, Lorelai being a prophet of hope, being hanging around them is major good juju.
Go and help.
Yeah.
Nice.
How do you handle it when somebody's run through the game with you before though?
I change up the scenario.
Okay, so like if I wanted to play again, I could go ahead and play, and it would be a different story.
It would be a different story. I have scenarios with actual ghosts. I have scenarios with entities. I have scenarios where it's a complete hoax. I have don't actually have these written out or anything, but the base scenario, you set up the situation that there is reports of a haunting, and you decide as you go along to fill in the blanks, depending on the mood you want. I have really, really horrific people that I could pull from the setting, because one of the things you that can happen in the setting is misuse of low magic, blood magic,
Mm-hmm.
where someone decides they want to permanently acquire somebody else's power,
Yep.
which requires lethal sacrifice.
Wow,
And the more painful and emotional the death, the more accurate the transfer of power is.
that's nasty. I'm wondering, like, if we three can get together again, can we do another scenario as the same team? Would you guys want to do that if we can?
I don't know if any of the other time slots would really work for me, but it would be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, if it works out, sure.
Yep. The next one I'm running is Don't Let the Sun Go Down, which is where Malcolm Reynolds is. I know Scribbs is really looking forward to that. Her and her
Oh,
husband, Scribbs from Vast,
mm-hmm.
Malevolent Scribe, is really looking forward to that scenario. I think her husband is also wanting to play, so that's going to be interesting.
Is that the one where you take characters from popular media, or
No, that's a urban fantasy crossover. The Don't Let the
uh,
Sun Go Down is the one where Alma Tarasu's missing and you go rescue her.
oh, okay, the one I was going to play, but then I passed out.
Yes,
Okay,
that's happening in a little less than 7 hours now,
all right.
and I'm going to stop recording.